Hi everyone, here's Arne. We are playing Cardhalia. Never played this game. I just recently found out that it's existing. Yeah, so for me it will be as new as for everyone else. I found out actually that this game is made in Czech Republic and completely for free. It was made because it's a long time ago. And I didn't know about it at all. Okay, learning about what you are venturing in is one of the paths to success. Okay. It's in English, which is great. Additionally, it's not only in English, it's partially in Czech as well. You see in the map that there are some Czech words and everything. I will try to explain it. I think it will be very heavy on the text and everything, so I will try to read as much as possible because I don't think for free that they had any voiceover. And unfortunately, this game was supposed to have a sequel. It is actually done by I think 3 people, as you can see. And the thing is that they were preparing a new version, the Cardhalia 2, and the thing is they still working on it based on some of the news, but it's already like 10 years, so more than 10 years. See, 2003, and still it's to be for free. And I think this is a really nice game. At least I was told. So let's have a little bit of the introduction to Cardhalia. Far away behind mountains and woods, far away behind lands of peace and forgotten realms, there is a land sated with springs whose air radiates with magic. It is a world of old legends, heroes and gods, who are walking on the earth and searching place of eternal peace. As I mentioned, old mountains, dead bog, a blind lake. It's a mountain side or mountain city. Springs, Sioux Springs, grey wood, crooked mountains, and still water. Yeah, as I mentioned, there are some things which will be in Czech, probably not translated, because it would involve new graphics. So, next. This world has its source in spindles of 7 spinsters, residing on the highest mountain of the world. Blind and mute, they are listening to the founder and spinning threads from which these destinies of living creatures, slaves and kings alike are made. Nobody remembers from where they came, but their presence is palpable on every step. The founder watches over this land and establishes the order from which there is no exception. The spinsters spin the world, solid in its foundations. Foundations were laid very long ago from liquid stone and iron. Those who helped building them were taken among gods. Earth was shaking and gods rested on it. Puzzled and noble as they were fighting among themselves, tangling, twisting and tearing threads. They were disrupting the order. Gods, devastated by their own war, abandoned their lands and set out to search for a new place where they could mend their wrongdoings. They will never find it. Too much things has changed. Too many has new shape and nature. From rifts of order magic began to emanate. It is mysterious and dangerous art which serves to those whose mind can dive beyond the borders of materiality, where they seek springs of magic energy. Magic is a tool which enables you to bypass reality, bypass the order, reveal the unrevealable and hide that which stands out a mile. Gods themselves are dissipated in it, floating in its ether and imbibing. I don't know this word, imbibing it. They are the most powerful creatures. Sages have been searching for a sense of the magic for a long time, but they never found it. Gods were wandering through land and fighting their own horrific creations. Some of them were trying to mend their wrongdoings, others were trying to outbreak a second war of gods. They were creating creatures which should have returned balance back to order, or the other way around. The spinsters have been just listening silently, their threads intertwining, and gave way to the race of men. Men created their own culture, built upon religion. Many of them met gods, and they have been learning from them. Many left the plains and steeps to live their own life and learn through their own experience. Men built vast kingdoms, glittering with fame. Their knowledge stems from work and fight, nonetheless. Others brought their steps into rifts where they found magic. Anybody can wield magic, but just few of them have been really occupying themselves with it. They began to call themselves sages and building their own communities. They could not match with power of gods, though. Men who remained with goods in deep forests and mountains have been learning their art. From those race of the Shem's arisings, members of their race are noble, upright, and their faces reflect ancientness of their masters. Shems understand their role in the world, therefore they behave differently. They are more aware of things natural and unnatural. Men and Shem are indistinguishable. Gods are just watching on their relations. From black spindress, a few threads of different shape had unwound, dark and tangled. Balance could have been restored, but their gods took the initiative. They gave way to destroying and bloodthirsty race of orcs, who, under their banner, proclaimed war to peace and serenity. Endless waves of these evil creatures travel through world and fight with men, Shems and other nations. Orcs are sending to gate of death everyone they meet. They know no mercy, even within themselves. Their dark leaders remain in shadows, which they leave only for great evil deeds. Then creatures are dying and are afraid of the dark. Gates of death will then get crimson with blood and sad-shrouded processions are passing through it. Wow, sometimes it's very hard to read. Not everybody will pass. Those who are killed by a dark god will never find peace, and their souls will not set out on a journey to the gate of death. Instead, they will return to decaying shells, wandering around land, trying to find a mean of their deliverance. They will not find it by themselves, though. Wrath and anger propel their steps, and touch of decaying limbs causes bad sickness. Cursed ones have their minds enslaved by dark gods. They enjoy it and are menacing them, urge of deliverance for cursed ones in stronger thought. They are seeking their own death, and they never flee from battle. Victory in battle is disappointment for them. That is a victory for them. Orders of their masters force them to fight furiously to the last breath, which they don't have because they are dead. Undeadness is a shadowy part of this world, and Founder is watching from his place, and spinsters are just listening. Their threads are spanning to every corner, and all life souls are intertwined with them. Every living creature is controlled by fate and cannot escape it in any way unless it meets with God. Animals, plants, evil and good creatures, they are all creation of the Founder, who does not distinguish between good and evil. None of them is here without purpose. Every one of them has some role in the world, but nobody will be here forever. Oh. Everybody must pass through the gate of death, so that his soul would be purified and his thread cut off. This path, which has been built by gods and ancient dark times, is unavoidable. Those who would try to avoid it would die in exhaustion. Immortality is curse of God, who disturbs the order. The essence of immortality is hidden in a lost time, in torn off threads which felt off during God wars. During God's wars? In small ball of thread which rolled off from the mountain of spindlers to the very bottom of the highest mountains. Here it lies, in dark tombs, in dark corners, watched by unseeing eyes, by unhearing ears. Nobody will ever see it, and yet it is a source of all the chaos, product of God wars, which gave way to world filled with adventures. Cardhalia. Okay. So this is the background story of the world. And the next we will start a new game. And for that it will be again a lot of new learns how to create the person and everything. So let's see you later at Cardhalia. See you, bye.